All right, everybody. Shout out to the room. Shout out to the room. Hey, everybody. Are we in here or are we in here? Hey, everybody. All right, everybody. We're wrapping up the year. This is part 2 of the R.Kelly that we have exclusive information from directly from the man himself. We haven't heard from R.Kelly since his conversation, his interview with Gayle King back in 2019. So, I think it's important for everybody to be heard. Do you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own opinions on what's going on, and you're all entitled to that. And, listen, whether you're for him, against him, you're undecided, we have him. He hasn't spoken to anyone since Gayle King in the last 4 years. And he called up the executive producer of my show, the Natasha Simona Sequence. He called up Rick Party. Rick Party, for those of you who don't know, has been in the radio broadcasting industry for over 30 years. He's built many, many meaningful, deep relationships with a lot of people in entertainment, and R.Kelly is one of them. He is from Chicago, so shout out to everybody from Chicago. And R.Kelly felt comfortable to talk to him directly. He's not talking to any other media outlet, and in turn, we have it over here. So for those of you wondering who I am Natasha Simona. So thank you for being here. And I just want to say, make sure that as you share this information, it's here for you to share. Please credit appropriately, or I will kindly ask you to take it down until you do. Okay? I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear, because as we play this audio, this is the internet. So microphone check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me so I can talk to you? Everybody just say something to let me know. Let me see if my back office can hear me properly, and we'll just cut right into it. Today I'm releasing the part of the conversation, as I shared with you before in part 1, where he said that the baby that Joycelyn, that the media was saying Joycelyn produced a baby with him. He said that is absolutely not true. He did not, they did not have a baby, and the album that was falsely released, he did not do that. He said, hell nah. So if you haven't heard that, definitely go back. It is live here on my Instagram page. Also on my YouTube page, you can find me at Natasha Simona. You can hear that snippet over there. This was a 45-minute conversation from federal prison. So it's not like when you can call your friends on the phone and it's a straight conversation. This is 45 minutes of R.Kelly talking on the phone with Rick Party. So you've got the audio of, this is a call from a federal inmate to, you have that interruption, and you also have to wait online, I can imagine. So, it's 45 minutes broken down into 15-minute increments. And so, I'm here giving you another 15 minutes of him talking about the leaked emails. These emails were leaked from the inside. That's illegal. Whether you want to believe it or not, that is actually illegal. I have combed through lots and lots and lots of court documents. As a matter of fact, I have, in the last couple of days, since we've had this conversation, I've woken up to reading these court documents. I've fallen asleep. I have done everything to comb through all of the documents. A lot of you who are following this case, you've heard it from, this person and that person. You've read it all over the place, but we have the person himself sharing information about that. We had a federal informant who really, I mean, listen, it doesn't matter if this is Robert Kelly or John Doe. The law is the law, and all of what is happening, allegedly, this is all, you know, if we understand the law, listen, I might not be the smartest light bulb in the pack, but a lot of things look funny. A lot of people were coerced. A lot of people were, jail time was lessened. There was a federal informant who was serving 4 years who allegedly, worked hand in hand with the people to release some of these emails to the blogger Tasha K, and went from serving 4 years down to 11 months. And there was a federal investigation. So this is not hearsay. And like I said, whether you want to believe him or not, whether you want to see him in or out of jail, you know, law is law. And if this can happen to him, can you imagine what's happening to a lot of other people who don't have nearly the amount of fame, clout, money that Robert Kelly has? So listen, I'm just here for this man to be able to have a platform to share and speak. And like I said, this is the first time he's speaking in 4 years. The last time he has spoken up was with Gayle King. So he felt comfortable to speak to Rick Party. And here we are. So sit back and here we go. This is 14 minutes of multi-part conversation. Like I said, this was a total of 45 minutes that we had with him. He was on the phone with Rick Party, and it was broken up into different parts. So without further ado, he goes into talking about the emails. At first, they were having a little bit of connection issues. Again, this is not him calling from a Verizon phone, okay? So you'll hear that, and as we go through this, we'll comb it out. And for those of you who don't know who Tasha K is, she's a blogger over on the YouTube space. I believe she's somewhere here on Instagram, but she's a blogger on YouTube. She's her highlight to her platform is really just expressing the news of entertainment in interesting ways. She's recently been sued by Cardi B for false information, for defamation, and I don't know. Listen, I'm not going to step over my toes here and speak on where exactly and how far this is going to go, but she received emails from the BOP, and that's illegal. Whether you like it or not, that is illegal. It's tampering with witness evidence. It's all of that. So, and she leaked it to her crowd. There's many videos on her platform. You can search it yourself. And she said that she had direct contact with someone in the Cook County Jail. That person has since been released, or they've been forced into retirement, and we'll just leave it at that. So here is R.Kelly right now.
Sorry.
Rob.
How you feel?
Hello?
Hello? Yo. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
How you been, man?
Terrible. What's going on with you? So whenever you're ready, man, just let me know when it's a good time to call.
You free now? I can talk to you now.
It's always good for me. I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got no job or nothing. So,
right.
You know, anytime is good for me, man. I just don't be having much time, so I got to get straight to points.
Right. So tell me, man, what is it like in there, man? What you been going through? I mean, people on the outside, they hear rumors, they hear all sorts of stuff, but what's real? Like, talk to us.
Well, I'm not going to get into all of that because everybody should obviously know how I feel and what I'm going through. So
right.
That's obvious. The deal is, man, you know, try to put this as quick as I can, man. Mm-hmm. When I got arrested in 2019,
right.
I was in here, you know, and for the last 2 years, I've been trying to figure out how did my girlfriends flip on me.
So he said girlfriends, just in case y'all didn't hear that, or y'all are probably wondering. He did say girlfriends, plural. And he's saying he's trying to figure out how they flipped on him.
And long story short, a BOP officer.
I saw a lot of people asking, what is a BOP? So that is Federal Bureau of Prisons. So that's an officer on the inside, okay? So just in case you all are confused, what's a BOP? Bureau of Prisons. So, I mean, listen, I don't know all the terminologies for all the people in jail, okay? So Bureau of Prisons, the officer got the emails from her email account and sent it over to the blogger Tasha K. That, ladies and gentlemen, is illegal. That's illegal. Well, I don't care whether it's R.Kelly or Jane Doe or John Doe. That is illegal. Okay, here we go.
Took a lot of my legal private phone calls and all my information.
All right.
Off of the TrueView system here.
So that system, that's what the informants on the inside, not the informants, excuse me, the prisoners, when they're emailing, I don't know if anybody has emailed anyone in jail. So they took it off of the internal systems. This BOP officer took it off of the system and sent it to Tasha K.
She did it illegally. It was a disciplinary hearing officer, which is like a judge in the Bureau of Prisons. And she illegally accessed all of my phone calls.
Illegally
and emails,
accessed.
150.
Hold on a minute. Let me run that back. Did y'all hear that? Illegally accessed.
Phone calls and emails 153 times. Illegally.
153 times. So,
once she did that, she sent it to her own personal Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
After she did that, she gave it to a blogger, Tasha K. This is public news out there.
Right.
People think it's rumors, but it's actually the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a messenger, okay? Shout out to all of you that have no clue what's going on here. I am literally the messenger. This is R.Kelly. We're listening to him talk to Rick Party, the executive producer and radio host. He's the executive producer of my show, the Natasha Simona Sequence. So that is straight from R.Kelly's mouth. You know, everybody has heard other people, you know, I do want to shout out to all of the bloggers and media outlets that have reported on this. You know, whomever you follow for your source, shout out to everybody. We all have a space here. But nobody has had the direct out of his mouth until now. Hello? And like I said, I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion. I'm hearing it for I heard it for the first time, on the other side of everybody else. So now it's one of those things where now you can properly piece the puzzle together. I'm not condoning anything. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I just want everybody to listen to this with a clear mind and understanding. We have never ever heard R. Kelly speak on this until right now. Okay. So I want you all to just listen to it with a clear mind. Aside from what you've heard before, listen to it for what it is out of his mouth. And then start now you got to repiece the pieces of the puzzle because this is the first time he's talking. Okay. So let's run that back for a second here. Let's run that. I want you all to hear that again. Oh, in the name of technology, things happen. So hold on one second. I broke it. Hold on, everybody. Technology gets funny, and it stopped. I won't press any buttons, okay? I'll stop pressing buttons.
Sorry.
There you go.
Rob.
Once she did that, she sent it to her own personal Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
After she did that, she gave it to a blogger, Natasha K. This is public news out there.
Right.
People think it's rumors, but it's actually the truth.
Mm-hmm.
After that happened, there was a search warrant done, a search warrant executed on this BOP officer, and they found out that it was true that she had did this. But we never got the rest of the information. As far as the investigation they did, there was never a closure on it. If there's no closure on it, then we don't know where that investigation went. But I do know it went this far. Tasha K mentioned that she shared all of that stuff with the parents of government witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
The girls.
Now, I'm going to say this. This is common sense.
Right.
You got 2 or 3 girlfriends
His
that are
girlfriends.
grown women, and you messing around, or you giving one attention more than you giving the other one, and they find out, they could become mad and scorned or whatever, depending on how the extent of that extra attention may be given at the time. And when this contraband, which was illegal contraband that the BOP stole and gave to Tasha K, was shown, which Tasha K said on her blog, she showed it to the parents and the witness, government witness. Right then and there, that becomes tampering with those witnesses. And once that person turn on you, don't tell them what they'll get up and say about you.
Right.
Which in my case was not good things. And it caused devastating outcome. I don't go too deep into it, but that's just the gist of it.
Right.
The bottom line is, if they can infiltrate the system, take my information, my private information that I pay for my phone calls, I pay for my emails, and attorney and client privilege and all of that. If they can do that to me, and the system is not right, then they can do it to anybody.
That's what I said. It could do it to anybody, right?
And fair is fair. No. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
And when things like this happen, it's no different than a casino, man. You walk in a casino and you just keep it real, and you playing blackjack, and you find out the dealer's hand is bogus.
Right.
I don't think you're gonna switch tables. You're gonna look at the whole thing like it's bullshit.
Right.
You're gonna walk out the casino, and you're gonna demand your money back, but you're not gonna ever go to that casino again because you're gonna think the whole casino is pretty much messed up. It's all because of that one cheat, that one table. So, forgive me if
This call is from a federal prison.
forgive me if you don't understand that metaphor, but that's how I'm looking at it.
I get it.
My private information was stolen by a BOP officer, a professional BOP disciplinary hearing officer, and that's not supposed to be. Another thing's not supposed to be, she's not supposed to scan it and send it to her own personal Gmail. That's illegal.
Right.
Another thing, she's not supposed to give it, share it, or sell it to a blogger. Okay? That's illegal. That blogger is not supposed to share it.
And the blogger
with
he's talking
anybody,
about is
let
Tasha
alone
K.
government witnesses. And what happens to be my case at the present time. And that was in 2019 that this happened, before I was ever gone, before I ever went to trial in New York. Okay? So I didn't find out about it until 2 weeks before my verdict.
Right.
So, which means it should, in my opinion, it should have been stopped until we had the investigation done on, how far did that information go? Which now I know, 3-4 years later, that it was pretty big and pretty powerful.
So I'm going to cut it right there. So there's a couple of things. There's a couple of things that I want to clear up here. When he mentions girlfriends in plural, I know everybody's in an uproar. Like, did this man say girlfriends? He did. Listen, he was R.Kelly. He is R.Kelly. Excuse me. And whether he had one girlfriend, 5 girlfriends, 10 girlfriends, they were all of age. We're talking about women of consenting age to be there. They have now turned on him, and that's where, he was wondering what happened. And, that's when everything was coming out that this BOP officer, Bureau of the Prisons, that's an inside worker, went into the system, took the emails from the work system, sent it to her Gmail, and then gave it to Tasha K. Now, whether it was sold, given, how, all of that is alleged, but it was definitely given to Tasha K, who is the blogger, and she then shared it on her platform. Tasha K has said that many, many times on her platform. It is out there. You can go find it yourself in lots of her YouTube videos. So it's there. That all of this is illegal. This is illegal. This is tampering with witness evidence, and that's a pivotal part in this case. That I don't know, and that's when he said fair is fair, right? Listen, we're regular people here, right? Let's talk to each other. Fair is fair. If somebody did that to you, how would you feel? Do you understand what I'm saying? And these are personal emails that should not have been sold to this blogger.
Figure out why I had people lying on me on the stand. I couldn't figure it out for years. But when I saw that my phone calls back in 2019 was all over the place, all in the newspaper, and coming out of Tasha K's mouth, and a search warrant was executed on the BOP's officer's laptop computer, and they found that it was criminal activity going on, and that all became real to me as to why I'm in court hearing all of these things being said about me, because people was mad, people was scorned, and that's pretty much all it takes for somebody to get up there and say whatever they want to say about you.
I don't know.
So,
sounds like he might have a cold. That was him clearing his throat.
I know it's a lot of bad things being said about me and all of this, that, and the other has been for the longest, way before I even came in here. And I usually don't, lash back out at people, because as a celebrity, as a professional person, you're never perfect. You're not, you do make mistakes in life, but I know I'm not a monster, none of this stuff. But people seem to, follow social media and the whole nine, and that's just what's going on today. And you get words about a person, and one word can just ruin a person's 30-year career in life. I never claim to be a perfect person or any of that stuff, but I know one thing, and I know this.
Okay, go ahead.
A BOP, disciplinary hearing officer, illegally accessed, stole my private phone calls and showed them to a blogger. How does she even meet the blogger? How did they ever meet? All these things happened. And in result of that, blogger showed it to witnesses. Okay? Now, I don't know law, but I've heard since I've been in here that things like that is called witness tampering.
Right.
And you cannot do that. And when you do that, it can and will and has resulted in my devastating outcome. And anybody with common sense would say the same thing.
Right. When I know your time is limited, and you said we
This
all
call is from a federal prison.
We all make mistakes. Is there anything? I mean, could be anything that you're sorry for, or something you would never do again. If you could trace back those steps.
There are a million things in my 55 years that I'm sorry for. I'm not going to pick out a million things that I could be sorry for in my life. But I can tell you there's a million things that have nothing to do with this BOP officer doing what she did.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is not me switching the blame. This is me pointing out the truth. Okay, this is not me saying, oh, R. Kelly is the most perfect guy in the world. But, you know, let me say this, man. If you go into a person's background or their career or the things that they've been through, you know, you'll understand them if you know them personally.
Right.
You know, but at the beginning, the end, the middle of the day, bro, a DOP officer. I really want you to hear that.
I'm listening.
Because you're right, my time is limited.
Okay.
So I would rather spend my time on pointing out where people cheated, where people lied, where people stole, where people sold, made money off my information on my phone calls. They listen to all my phone calls. They're listening now.
Right.
But I don't care because what I'm telling you is public record and it's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I would rather people, if I got the time to spend with you, I'm not going to sit here talking about Robert Kelly's mistakes and Robert not being a perfect person because none of us are.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather spend my time saying somebody stole my car. Okay? Mm-hmm. It was a blue car. It was a Benz. This is the license plate. You understand? So they can go find my car, if you understand my metaphor.
I got it.
If they can go look up the license plate, and then we'll discuss everything else later. Mm-hmm. But right now, I know this for a fact, or I wouldn't be on this phone telling you this, because I'm not going to lie on people.
Mm-hmm.
There is a search warrant that was executed by a federal agent, not Robert Kelly, not my lawyers. It was executed by a federal agent. And that federal agent came to find that there was criminal activity in that affidavit.
Right.
The Sun Times has put it out. The Tribune has put it out. It leaked. And if it leaked, that means it wasn't supposed to come out, but it leaked. And in result of that, witnesses in my case was shown that illegal contraband.
Right.
Why was it stolen? Why was it accessed 153 times? Mm-hmm. Why did the affidavit also say that 60 other BOP officers illegally accessed my phone calls and my records?
60 other officers. So, that's a lot. I know. I see you all in the chat. Listen, his time is limited, right? He can't sit there. And when Rick asked him, you know, anything you're sorry for, if you're of a certain age, there's a lot of things that you've done. You know, this man has been in the music industry for a very long time. And he's had all kinds of women throwing themselves at him. There's a whole lot. I told you, I went to sleep. I woke up. I'm eating breakfast. I'm eating dinner. I'm at the park with the kids, looking through all of these court documents. And, it's a lot that has not come out, and he's talking. I have more information, from him. He does not name names. He calls them federal witnesses and things like that. There's a lot of involvement from the federal witnesses' parents. There's a lot of coercion. Is that the word? Is that how you say it properly? But again, this is a side that we've never heard. The public has never heard him speak. We've heard everybody else. There's 15 parts of a surviving R. Kelly story. And we've heard everybody else spin their narrative in their way. They've all told their truth for what their truth is. And we've never heard him speak. So
emails. Why?
Right.
Why? And this is where I want to spend my time if I'm going to be on this phone.
Okay.
Because that is why I'm where I'm at talking to you. And until and if they did it to me, then they can do it to anybody. And if they can do it to anybody, that means the system is not well put together like people claim it is. This phone is about to cut off. I'll call you back tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Rick.
All right, brother.
okay. Wow. Let's take that all in for a second. Now, there's a lot of moving parts here. Now, first of all, when he mentions contraband, that is The email being used out, it was taken out of the court and put in the hands of a blogger that has then shared it. All of that is illegal. That was brought to Tasha K, and she basically, I don't know. I saw a lot of people saying she's part of this whole investigation now. I can't speak on that, but I do know that motion was completely legal. The BOP officer has since retired, and is not part of that system anymore. But he did mention that there's 60 others. So, who have wiretap phone conversations, emails, so on and so forth. We actually have a photo of the computer that was used, because this was an actual investigation that was in court. Like, this is real. And I can't put the photo up here. I was trying to do that, but for some reason we can't get the photo up here. But I can, if you want to see that, I can put that up in another video. And I can put that out there. So I just, when I look at this whole case, I just want to say that, everybody has their own space here on the internet. This is a deep and wide source that anybody can, turn their cameras on and press go and say whatever they want to say. To put up information for clicks and likes, I think, people do what they feel they have to do to get the attention on them. But when you are tampering with witness evidence, when you are tampering with information that you're not supposed to, I mean, listen, if the sky is blue, the sky is blue. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And in this case, the BOP officer who shared the information, who shared the emails with blogger Tasha K, that's illegal and that was wrong. And the necessary consequences are underway, and have taken place already. There's another federal informant who served his own placement. I will not name his name. We'll just call him a federal informant. You do your own research on that if you want. He was being charged with a $1.6 million bank fraud charge, and others. He's a career federal informant. And he went from serving 4 years down to 11 months in his part in this whole thing. So there's a lot of moving parts. And like I said, whether you are for Robert Kelly, you're against him, you don't know what side to choose. If we can all understand what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. In this particular situation, this is all wrong. This is criminal activity brought up against him falsely. Now, everything else, I think a lot of times in this case, people are having problems with just kind of cutting it apart. He does admit that there's things that he has done in his 30 years in the music industry, in entertainment industry, that, he can look back and say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But does he want to spend his time on the phone? Like I said, he's calling from federal prison. So this was a 45-minute conversation broken up in 15-minute increments. And then you hear the operator in between talking. So, he wants to get his story out on things that have made a difference in his trial. And this is him speaking up now. Sharon Winbush, who is a strategist on Robert Kelly's team, I'm grateful she shared a lot of information with us. We have there's a whole lot happening behind the scenes, and I want to shout out everybody involved. I can also get on the phone. She speaks very clearly to everything that's going on, and she's also on the approved list that he speaks to. There's only 2 people aside from his lawyers that he talks to, and we have close communication and contact with Sharon. So let me see if I can get her on the phone. Excuse me. And for her to speak a little bit more on this, and I will play back the audio for you in a second. So just stand by, everybody, and let's get her on. Let me see.
Hello?
Hi, Sharon. It's Natasha Simona. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I just want to let you know we are live right now. I don't know if you have time to chat really quickly.
Yeah, I've got a minute.
Okay. So I just played the portion of the conversation that Robert had with Rick Party where he was talking about the emails, these leaked emails, and the BOP officer and blogger Tasha K. I just wanted to know if you can share just a little bit more on the investigation that did take place, and like where do we go from here?
Well, everybody should know that there was a formal investigation. When his BOP records were noticeably illegally accessed, the warden of the jail actually contacted the Department of Justice, and within the Department of Justice there is the Office of the Inspector General. And a gentleman by the name of Matthew Lee did an investigation, put an affidavit in to get the computer, to seize the computer of the officer. If anybody wants that document, it is case number 20M148. This was under sealed, but Robert's attorneys got it unsealed. The agent who is with the Department of Justice, the Office of Inspector General, his name is Matthew Liu, and it is a 22-page document. If you go towards the end of the document, you actually see a picture of the computer that they seized from the BOP officer.
Yes.
That's where they confirmed that she had accessed Robert's records 153 times. She then sent that information to a blogger. That blogger is on many of her podcasts saying she shared it with the parents because she had a relationship with both sets of parents. Those are her words. These are parents of federal witnesses. There was a trial in process. People, R.Kelly and Jocelyn Savage, were both subpoenaed to be witnesses. That made them federal witnesses. When you try to contact them or influence them or get information to them, that is called witness tampering, influencing federal witnesses, and if that is successful, it influences the outcome of the trial, and that is called influencing a federal trial. If it can happen to R.Kelly, it can happen to anyone. This is a breach in our justice system. Everyone in this country should be outraged. This is a violation of not only his 14th constitutional right, which is equal protection under the law, but also his Sixth Amendment right, which is his due process. He has the right to a fair trial. He has the right to a fair process. And when you interfere, tamper with witnesses, witness tampering, you are, in fact, affecting the outcome of the trial. Witnesses in New York and Chicago were both contacted, several, and I know their names, I'm not going to name them, but I've done videos on this. If you guys want to go to my social media pages, Sharon Winbush, 200 videos on it. I name names in the videos. So this is not alleged. This is not hypothetical. These are facts. I support it with legal documentation. And this is something that every person within the sound of my voice should be contacting the Department of Justice, the Office of the Inspector General, to get this investigation to go full throttle to completion. Nobody's trial should be influenced. No witness should be tampered with, not just in one trial, but in both of his trials. It's a gross miscarriage of justice. We cannot trust the outcome. We cannot depend on the outcome.
So,
because,
I just want to cut in here. I just want to let everybody know, I have all of the court documents. This is not hearsay. This is not a random person that you're listening to right now on the phone. This is Sharon Winbush. She is a strategist. She works directly with R.Kelly. She is one of very few approved people that can actually contact him directly. He talks to her often about everything that's going on, and so you know, if Yeah, a lot of people don't understand what's happening here, and I understand it, but I just want you all to know who's listening and watching live, and if you're watching this on a replay, this is someone completely verified in this case, and we here at the Natasha Simona Sequence, we have all of the legal documents. This is hundreds of pages. This is a lot of pages here, Sharon. There's a lot of
Yeah,
information here, directly from the court. And
right.
reading through this, this is it's nauseating, I will say, because
Yeah,
it's a lot of information, and if we extract the entertainer from the case and we put, any of our friends, family members, and insert their name, it's one of those things where, again, you have to look at the law and you have to stand on the law. Right is right and wrong is wrong. This is not me. I'm not sitting here trying to sway anybody to make a decision on whether you want to believe Robert Kelly or not. That is up to you. But if we're all going to be mature about this situation and really comb through it and seeing, is he being served appropriately, based on the law and the facts. This is interesting. Sharon, in your own words, I really do want you to just let everybody know your relationship to R. Kelly and the situation for what it is.
I worked in Robert's home in the late 90s as his nutritionist and strategist. I've been around him, his wife, his children, his business associates. Have known Robert since the late 90s and came forward to assist him in this process. This is not whether he's guilty or innocent. This is, was the law followed? They're saying he broke the law when everyone else is breaking the law. And it began with Mute R.Kelly seizing his money. You cannot stop someone's money based on gossip. And then Tim Fox opening an investigation based on a fraudulent TV show. You cannot investigate a scripted TV show with paid actresses who were lying. And we know they're lying because it came out in court. Everyone had a book ready. Everyone had deals to do radio, TV, and make money on this. No one expected it to go into the court system. No one expected it to go this far. But once you told the story on TV, you had to stick to your story. And most of them were proven liars. You got to realize, because someone was found guilty, there are many things that go into that decision. A lot of information the judges didn't allow. A lot of witnesses the judges didn't allow. The judge did not allow parents to be subpoenaed in New York when the parents were the ones that brought the children, not children, but they claimed she was 17 to the concert. So if you brought her to the concert, she was 17, and you lied about her age, she showed a fake ID, she showed police an ID that said she was grown. Her mother told the police she was grown because the mother got on the phone and pretended to be the daughter, sent the daughter to the hotel. Everybody said she was 18. She showed ID to Robert saying she was 18. 20 minutes after she was there, police knock on the door. Robert asked her again, how old are you? She said 18. The police come in. She shows her ID to the police. She tells them she's 18. The ID says she's 18. Robert says, call the parents. The police say the parents are in the lobby. And the mother says to the police on speaker, she's grown. She can do what she wants. So how on earth is Robert to know anything other than this is a consenting adult? Right. Then the mother and daughter drove to Fort Lauderdale, and the mother wanted a separate room at 11 o'clock at night. Why didn't you book your own hotel room? Why didn't your husband come with you? Why is a mother and daughter traveling at midnight to go see a rock star?
So
ask yourself these simple questions.
Before we get there, because I will play that. I know they're coming out with another surviving R. Kelly on on Lifetime in a couple of days, so we're definitely going to talk about that. I know Robert did not say, he said he's not going to name names. And I really just want to keep it concentrated to what he's talking about, because this is his first
Right.
time, this is his first time speaking since, my God, excuse me. This is his
Yeah.
first time speaking since 2019 from Gayle King. Why do you think he's talking now?
It's been 4 years. Um, his last interview was the Gayle King interview. He broke his silence because he's fed up. He knows Rick Party. He has history with Rick. They're both from Chicago. Rick and Rob have interfaced many years throughout both of their careers. And Robert felt comfortable talking to Rick Party because he's a veteran within the radio space. And Robert just wanted to be heard. His lawyers told him not to speak during the trial because they didn't want it to adversely affect him. But he just, I think when he heard they were going to film another one or air another one, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And he just said, I've got to get, people have to hear what's really going on here. You don't have the complete picture. And real journalism is showing evidence that no one has seen, talking to people that no one has talked to, showing a fresh new perspective, and giving information that people are afraid to talk about. If you're really concerned about the judicial process and the law and truth, then you look where nobody is looking.
Yeah.
And you don't have to apologize for, let me look over here. For 4 years, we've heard all of this. Why am I going to regurgitate what's been said for the past 4 years? Let me say or look in a place where nobody's looking.
Yeah.
That's what great journalists do. You can't be a trailblazer following the crowd. You have to say, there's got to be some evidence we didn't see. There's got to be people we haven't talked to. There's got to be a perspective that nobody is looking at. Let's look there.
And let me ask you this. Now that he is speaking, he was quiet for all of this time. His last media conversation didn't really go too well, and he stayed silent all of that time. What do you think in the time that he's been behind bars and watching this play out the way it is with limited eyes? It's not like he can turn on the TV or turn on the radio or the internet and see everything for himself. He's got to get it from you, his lawyers, and Joy.
His fans write him too, his supporters. He's got a lot of supporters, a lot of fans. They write him. They keep him abreast of what's going on out here. Yeah.
I heard him coughing a little bit in the video. Is he okay? Do you know if he's sick or anything?
He's always catching, they're in an enclosed environment, and you got germs going around like crazy. So it's easy to have the flu or COVID or anything. And he did have a recent surgery. So he's just not feeling well.
Are you able to speak up at all on the surgery?
No.
Okay.
No. I'll let him talk about that.
Okay. That's fair. I appreciate you for your time. One last thing before you go. So with this situation with Tasha K, is there anything, what legally can be done? Is she now part of this case because she received illegal documents from the BOP? How does this work in for her, against her, for Robert? How does that go?
His lawyers are pursuing it within the courtroom, but just like that case down in Cabo, when you get public uproar, when you get people really screaming for further investigation, that's when things move. So the reason Robert is speaking and I'm speaking is I want public opinion to be not only convinced that this needs to be investigated further, but people actually contact the Department of Justice, the Office of the Inspector General, the gentleman that was the agent, Matthew Lou, Lous, and get this to completion. This is a violation of our judicial system. It is a violation of constitutional rights for R.Kelly. And no person is safe within the Bureau of Prisons if your information can be illegally accessed, sold, and used to flip witnesses. Witnesses were flipped in Chicago and New York, and the evidence is there. We need the Department of Justice, the Office of Inspector General, to do their job.
Let me ask you this before you go. One more question. I know I was letting you go before, but hold on. There's a lot happening. Hold on a minute. So, I know you said before that you worked in his home in the late 90s. You were a nutritionist, you're a strategist. What are you, cause you know, a lot of people are confused. You know, everybody has their own opinion on you, the case, everything, as you can imagine. What are you getting from this by speaking up, as loud and brave as you are and have been? What do you get from this? Are you on you on payroll? Let us know.
No, sadly, no. I wish I were. His money has been seized on so many levels. He has no money, so I have not received a dime.
He has no
in
money?
The 4 years, very little. Everything that he has is going to legal fees and you have heard in the media that his commissary was seized. So, he's in the worst shape he's ever been in. What I get out of this is an icon, a legend, a musical genius who, in my opinion, should not be in prison. In my opinion, with all the things that I have seen, this is not fair, and we need, we need him let out.
We need, say that one more time at the end. We need what? I'm sorry.
A crazy lady just walked by me. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm out in public.
Girl, go to a corner somewhere and talk to us.
She decided to walk right by me. Anyway, I forgot what did I say?
No, I was just asking, like, what exactly do you get from this? You know, you're very supportive. You work, very closely with the legal team and Robert, and we know you worked with him before, but now today, what do you get from this?
Basically, why do it? It needs to be done. He doesn't have people that are willing to roll up their sleeves and get the job done. Thank God for his fans. Thank God for his supporters. This has been a tsunami. You have one of the greatest voices and songwriters, producers in the history of R&B being ambushed for rock star behavior. He sings sexual songs. He's singing to women. And mothers, daughters, grandmothers want to have sex with him. It is what it is.
Not the grandma's child.
Girl,
not the grandma.
Granny need love too.
Hello. So let me ask you a question. I'm as we are live here on Instagram. I know you're on the phone, but I am live right now, and there's a lot of people wondering how they heard you say that he's broke. And for as many people out there who are against him, he does have a strong fan base that are heavily for him and watching this closely. Is there a way that anybody of support of him can help him monetarily, write to him? Is there information that you can share with us so that they can help?
What I'm trying to figure out is what's going on. He has restitution that he has to pay. So his commissary was seized. I think he can receive up to $5,000, but we're gonna check. What the best thing they can do is write him. I will post that information on my platforms. You can write him and ask him. I think they will allow him $5,000. Anything above that, I believe they're seizing. But his lawyer and his power of attorney are working that out.
Okay.
On how they're paying the people and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I wouldn't suggest that people spend the money right now simply because it's been received.
Okay.
That's the last word I heard.
Okay. So for everybody, for everybody curious, we'll just keep you posted on that. So and just to ask one more question, I just can't seem to let you go. Is he up for appeal? And when is that?
Yeah, an appeal is being filed in New York. He has his sentencing for Chicago in February 23rd of 2030. So he's going to appeal that as well. So we are working on many things to just move this where it needs to go. But the most important thing we need is people contacting the Department of Justice, the Office of the Inspector General, to what is going on with the investigation of Robert Kelly's emails being sent to a blogger and used to influence the outcome of his trial. If it can happen to him, it can happen to anyone. That's what we need from the public. We need the public to get involved.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving us, your insight from your perspective. I appreciate you so much, and I definitely will be talking more with you. And as you're available, I would love to have you on to share more information, as you are very, very closely connected with everything here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sharon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, there you have it, as close as possibly we can get. I'll play a little bit more of this audio, and it's a lot.
Sorry.
Rob.
How you feel?
Hello?
Hello? Yo. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
How you been, man?
Terrible. What's going on with you? So whenever you're ready, man, just let me know when it's a good time to call.
You free now? I can talk to you now.
It's always good for me. I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got no job or nothing. So,
right.
Anytime is good for me, man. I just don't be having much time, so I got to get straight to points.
Right. So tell me, man, what is it like in there, man? What you been going through? I mean, people on the outside, they hear rumors, they hear all sorts of stuff, but what's real? Like, talk to us.
Well, I'm not going to get into all of that because everybody should obviously know how I feel and what I'm going through. So
right.
That's obvious. The deal is, man, try to put this as quick as I can, man. Mm-hmm. When I got arrested in 2019,
right.
I was in here, and for the last 2 years, I've been trying to figure out how did my girlfriends flip on me. So.
Speaking of girlfriends, there's a surviving R.Kelly part 1000. I think this is part 3 at this point. It's coming out on Lifetime on January 2nd. Check your local listings for that on Lifetime. Another surviving R. Kelly. It's going to be a 3-part series from my understanding on Lifetime January 2nd. After that, we will be talking more. If you want to hear the rest of this audio, this video will be saved and you can double back to the beginning and I have the whole thing played out there. I want to thank everybody for joining us right now. This is part 2 of our exclusive conversation with R. Kelly from federal prison. This is the first time he's speaking in 4 years since he last spoke with Gayle King. I want to thank Rick Party. R. Kelly actually requested to speak to Rick Party, who is the executive producer of my show, the Natasha Simona Sequence, and we are the only news outlet with this information. So I want to thank R. Kelly for entrusting us with this information to get his word out there. I want to thank Sharon Winbush for her contribution in all of this, and his entire team in making sure that his voice is heard. Whether you want to believe it or not, you're for him, you're against him, you're scaling it, you don't know. The fact of the matter is that, he has not spoken, he has not had his voice heard, and, this is the platform, and he trusts Rick Party to, put his information out there to be heard. Nothing is doctored, nothing is edited. It was a 45-minute conversation that we had with him, and it's broken up into 15-minute increments. He called directly from federal prison. So as you can imagine, you're sitting there in the open, standing online, waiting to make this phone call, and now this is his time. This is his time where he wants to speak. He wants his voice to be heard. He's been coached to be silent all of this time while all of this stuff has been going on, and in this case, we were talking about the leaked emails to that blogger Tasha K put out there from the BOP officer. So I want to thank everybody again for joining. There will be more after the Lifetime episode. Again, that airs, the R.Kelly, Surviving R.Kelly. Another one is coming out on Lifetime. That comes out on Monday, January 2nd, and we will wrap up this multi-part conversation with R. Kelly after that. Thank you, everybody. I will be saving this, so don't worry about it. It will be here on Instagram, and it will also be on my YouTube page. I am Natasha Simona, and we're done. Bye-bye.